people, if I get an opportunity, I always like kind of poke around, like, hey, you know, this person I'm gonna ride with them. Do you know of anything that should do? And like, hey, he used to actually be the loud owl, the boss man for here. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Apparently, you're a Navy guy too.
Air Force.
Oh, Air Force.
Yeah.
Sorry. How long were you in the military?
Just over 20 years.
Okay, so you were the career military guy.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I got to the finish line and decided second career was more lucrative, so I could play with cards.
I mean, you didn't want to come and go to the military for another 20 years?
Yeah.
And my old man was an Army guy. He was in there while Germany was split in two, so he spent a lot of time in dealing with the wall and everything else, and the border guard and everything.
Yeah, so I did 5 years in Germany, so I actually bought this car there, and you know, hit obviously Nürburgring multiple times.
Oh no, it's like the some place.
Yeah, and Spa Franco, Red Bull Ring, got down to Mugello, I knew Durin over in France, which is a little tiny track, Bilsterberg.
It's so cool that you can just drive over to them. That's just so close to each other.
Well, and actually, I was a little nervous about like what's the barrier to entry for some of their HPD type stuff, and actually got connected with a track club out of Munich, and the lead guy there was former like 24 hours, you know, professional driver for a couple of teams, and so he kind of showed us the ropes and you know, gave us the guidance to get, you know, Americans integrating into a European track culture. So that was really, really enlightening.
Super cool, man. That's one of the things, a couple of my buddies, every other year or so, they fly over to Germany and do the Nordschleifen, the Tourenpassen, and then they'll do the Spa, and then they'll come back and do the Tourenpassen again, and I'm like, oh my god, they don't want to go so bad.
So in October, as part of my transition, I flew back and I packed up all of my stuff, and so Lisa, my girlfriend, went with me, and the first week we just toured around and did a bunch of, you know, last minute stuff, and then she's like, I'd like to go to the Nürburgring. I'm like, okay, so we went to RSR and we booked a car, and you know, we went out there and did a track day out there, so it was just a great experience for her.
That's super cool. Is your girlfriend pretty interested in cars, or maybe not so much?
She's got the blue GT4 RS.
Oh shit, okay. She got the Jensen blue one?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing is gorgeous. Jensen blue is my favorite color.
Yeah.
I think actually when you mentioned that before. But I didn't realize. Yeah, that thing is beautiful.
Yeah, so she let me co-drive the last two. So he's got yellow, but
That's
was
because this is where the incident is.
okay.
Yeah, so it's just the space. That's unfortunate. So someone spun at the kink, or there's a fire, or they spun coming out of the pit. So your three options. Brakes are probably pretty warm. Lift off them slightly, just inch, like 6 inches forward, and then stop, just so we don't hot spot any of them. Well, you know what? Just before I got in the car with you, someone tried to stop me and said, "Hey, we should do a red flag exercise in one of the groups." And there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, here's all the knuckleheads with all their little e-bikes. Well, hey, let's talk about your driving. So actually, you're nailing it everywhere. The only places that I would change really is at turn, like I was discussing. You're holding the left input a little bit too long.
You need to straighten it out.
Just you need to transition a little bit earlier. And I kind of want to take back what I said. I said we need to do a faster hands there. I think your transition speed's fine. I think it's just the point at which we're initiating it needs to be just a touch earlier.
Okay.
We're talking about like a quarter of a second difference.
Yeah.
But what is you're just kind of over exaggerating and really loading up the kind of right side, and then we have to quickly come back. And we just have to smooth out that transitional point just a touch.
Yeah, I feel like I'm holding it to the end of the curbing, and I probably need to
Just release it a
initiate
little earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other one is just your braking zones at turn 1 and at 13. I know you're pretty conservative on that. You can push them a little bit more, but before that, actually, I would start working on trying to carry a little bit more speed with you down into the corner. Because what happens is you end up kind of like stalling out almost, like you're not very quickly moving through that whole section, and it's a big time sink.
Yeah.
Just kind of create that little substantially helping, and you don't have to change it anyway. riding the cars that are a little bit more ranked on. Like, first time out of one there, Oversteer's like, oh yeah, I know we're gonna get some fun out of this thing.
What I really like is that, like you said, it's spicy, but it doesn't really
punish you with it.
It doesn't surprise you, too much, right? Especially on power on, you definitely control it. When I had this thing up in the Swiss Alps, all those little switchbacks and stuff, man, you could just hammer them and get it to just kind of walk around sideways and scare the neighbors, but just have a lot of fun with it.
I love it. And I think the M2 is like one of the better M cars to me. I haven't had a chance to ride in any of the new M2 CSs, but I'm pretty sure those things are going to be the kids would call it dope.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the thing though too, right? If you watch like Throttle House, those guys do a pretty good comparison of
They're like, it's a really good car, but it's not. We're not going to buy it. And I was
right.
like, I mean, I can kind of get it that aesthetically it's not maybe to your preferences, but functionally they're amazing.
You want me to drop you off somewhere?
No, you can drop me off over where you park, and I'll hop out. I just got to retrieve my scooter. But all again, I mean, I'm super happy with that. Like I said, it's very obvious that you know what you're doing out there. It's just, if you want to pick up time, we just have to make a few changes.
Yeah.
I can see the auto won't keep up on this thing. You get a ton of laps in there. Got 2 technically. You can actually go through and you can watch what your optimal lap would look like if you'd like. Put it together. So it'll go through and splice all the segments together, which is pretty sick. Like I said, so here I feel like you stall out a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you were to carry more speed in, carry trail braking in, you can pick up a decent chunk of time. Here you're really good with power application, which is something that a lot of people struggle with. You got it. Here, obviously, get out, look for the gray circle, just like we talked about on the track walk, and just be patient on the input, and then let her rip paper ship.
Am I carrying enough speed through there? Like, okay.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
All right.
If we go back, so your minimum speed is like high 50s. I personally want to see like 65 for me. Like my aero's not helping me there, so most mechanically your cars could be able to do like 65ish. But that just comes with time. It's just it has to be a really long, sweeping, smooth arch for you to carry that much speed, and also get a good exit. Because you can carry a lot of speed in, but it'll mess up your exit if you're not careful. Like here, you got a good exit coming out. You see that white car disappear? So it's splice segments. But yeah, here, so like I said, you're going, and
I'm
like
holding it too long.
Here, I'm starting to straighten it out and get ready to transition back. If you look, you keep turning just for a split second, and then you can notice the nose has to really heavily load over here on this corner just for that split second. That's just because just a touch late. That's all it is.
Yep.
Like every time we come through there, in my mind, I'll be ready to feel the G's to transition, and you would go, no, half a second later, boom, and then we do it. Or not even half a second, like quarter of a second. It's really, really, really close. You're good here. You set up really well in the S's, and you actually use maintenance power to push you up the hill, so great there. Yep, get over to the left, bring it over, straight across, get back on the power, a little bit of maintenance, back on the power if you need it, ease, tab of the brakes, turn it in, maintenance, full throttle, so you got that, easy. And move along, and get a little bit of braking, and the same thing we were talking about with 13 where it's 2 braking zones connected with trail braking, it's the same thing here. Do your initial braking just to set up your car like you need to, trail brake to this, and if you need, you can do the extra pressure on the backside. Here actually, so do me a favor, on the next one, you're doing really good about getting to the edge. I think you might be getting to it just a touch too early. Like this tire's here.
Okay.
You can move it up maybe like this 2 yellow segments up. I think that'll set you up better.
Okay. I wasn't sure, what part of it was trying to just come up a little bit more parallel to it.
You don't have to worry about being overly parallel initially. Just towards the end, obviously, you have to because you're going to make a right-hand corner and it's going to stay the same. Okay. It is like kind of an arch through there. So at first, you'll be separated from it, but as you come in, you can kind of tuck in and you'll be good. Like I said, I think just literally 5 or 6 feet further down apexing would be good for you. Okay. Because then that'll allow you to kind of like cut in really aggressively and then straighten it out and really be able to nail into the power. Because what's limiting our the geometry of it, what's limiting our geometry is actually this little piece of the inner curb sticking out. Because, I mean, we would love to be able to turn in an apex earlier there, right? But that grass is jutting out. So that's why we have to kind of hyperextend into that hole and kind of bring it back, because you have to wrap around it. And with your car being kind of oversteery, I would try to stay off of that curve for the most part, because it could probably cause you to have a little bit of oversteer, which would lose you time. I don't think you'd have like a functional issue with it. I just think you'd have an exciting exit on 12, and it would slow you down for your total times.
Okay.
But no, like I said, everything there is good. And then literate. As soon as you see the exit, you know you're good. I can't passport. We're going to be cruising for a minute here. Actually didn't get a chance to see velocity. You're moving pretty good.
Yeah, but I know I have another 10 miles an hour there that I could probably push it.
Yeah. So for you, I mean, conservatively, you should be able to probably go to like at least the 3.5 for the restart sign before you lift off the gas. But inch up to it, obviously. Don't ever jump full signs on that regard. But yeah, so do your braking here, and then reduce pressure, and then increase pressure right about here, just as you get around that curb. And then, like I said, you can actually use the release of the brake to help you rotate if you want to, but that's a little bit more advanced because you're upsetting the car. Stay tight, and maintenance, full throttle, maintenance, full throttle, like go, and then off and trail brake. And then off the trail brakes a little bit, trail brake again if you need it, off completely, maintenance, be patient, adding pressure. You see a little swerve just a minute there. So you're adding pressure to the gas pedal, add, and full throttle. If you're super confident with your lateral load and your power application, you can go to the throttle earlier there. Just the only thing that gets people into trouble is obviously an oversteer like you, this curb on the right. If you end up going too fast to make it and you have to use it, you got to be careful about turning, being high on throttle, and also hitting curb simultaneously. I always feel like you can do 2 or 2.5 of those things at once, but don't do all 3, unless you're in like an aero car or something that's like got slicks on it, or et cetera.
Right.
Like the Club Sports, we're just ripping them through there, and we don't care. But your guy being a little tail happy, be cautious, because the right wall can collect people occasionally.
Yep.
But like I said, you're doing awesome, dude. I'm super happy with your driving and your line.
Okay.
I think literally the way to go faster for you outside of 4A is just brake deeper, carry speed with you. That's it.
All right.
And that's just intensity. You're just turning that up every time.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it gives me confidence that what I'm doing right now is good, and that I can keep building on it.
Yeah, another thing I was really happy with you is in the times that we did have to oversteer, you mostly stayed in the throttle, you drove out of it and just kept on trucking. Love that. Because most people, if they start feeling that rear end coming out, the gas pedal is going from here to here instantaneously, and they're throwing in an input, and then they'll snatch, and they get themselves in trouble. You kept it very linear and smooth and just kept on trucking. For you, it wasn't a surprise, it was a part of the corner, right?
Yep.
And that's what I love to see.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Now we'll take this guy.